Boys and girls, we're on day 4 and we've been learning a lot about sentences. Why is it important to write in a complete sentence? Because when your reader is reading your sentences, they need to understand what you're trying to say. So they need to be reading complete thoughts, sentences that are complete with subjects and predicates. So when we're looking at a sentence, okay, it has 2 parts. What did I just say they were? A subject plus a predicate equals a complete sentence. Okay? Now a predicate always includes a verb. Okay? Now a verb is an action, or it can be a linking verb. Like if we use the word was, were, have. Those are some examples, okay? A subject can be a noun. And you know what a noun is. A noun is 3 things. A person, a place, a thing. So, to kind of sum it up, a subject is telling me who or what the sentence is all about. And the predicate is telling me, well, what's happening? What about the subject do I know? Now today, we're focusing on fragments. So in that YouTube video that you always watch before our lesson, you should have learned a little bit more about fragments. But basically, a fragment is a piece. So if I say the fragment fell on the floor when the glass broke, a piece of the glass fell on the floor. So a fragment is an incomplete sentence. Or we can even call it dependent clause, like we talked about yesterday with our complex sentences. Dependent clauses cannot stand alone. They are fragments. They are just a piece of a sentence. Therefore, they are not complete. So let's look at number 1. We have Kara found some money in Grandpa's car. Now, if I want a complete sentence, remember I have to have 2 parts, so that's what I'm looking out for. And I can see a person here. I see Kara. Okay? And I can tell myself, well, what did Kara do? Well, she found some money in Grandpa's car. And there's that special verb that we're talking about for our predicate, right? Going back to our notes. So this is a complete sentence. I'm going to circle that C right there. And then it says, on number 2, put the $10 bill in her coat pocket. Okay. I have that verb here. So that's already giving me a clue I have a predicate. And I'm wondering still, well, who put the $10 bill in her coat pocket? That's not giving me a complete thought. That's missing a part. What part do you think it's missing? If you said subject, you're correct. So this is only my predicate, and therefore it is a fragment. It is an incomplete sentence. So I would circle F for fragment. Let's continue on. Let's do a couple more. Number 3, the luckiest girl in the world. What do you think about that? I would say it's a subject. Because I know who it is. It's the luckiest girl in the world. But what happened to her? What did she do? Could I say the luckiest girl won the contest? The luckiest girl in the world found $100? But right now I don't know what she did. So that is a fragment. Okay? So let's kind of sum up what we're doing. What are the actions we're taking? Well, of course, we always read. We definitely have to read first. That is important for understanding the sentence, for getting our mind to think about what's happening in the sentence. And number 2, we're looking for that subject. So we're asking ourselves, who or what is the sentence about? Who or what is doing something here? And then I can find out, okay, what happened? What's the action here? What did the subject do, right? And we know our who or what is our subject, and we know what happened is our predicate. So we're finding 2 parts of a sentence just like we did here. I circled the subject, I underlined the predicate. Lastly, you can label, and I can label it CS, which means what? It's complete. Or I could label IS, which means what? It's incomplete. What's our 4th grade word for an incomplete sentence? Fragment. Okay, so today our focus is complete sentence or fragment. I'm looking for some things to make it complete. Do I know who it is? Do I know what? Do I know what happened? Does it have a complete thought? Because I want to show you something tricky. Look at number 5. It says, on the counter next to the watches. This word right here is telling me where. So, is it telling me who or what is on the counter next to the watches? Do I know a verb? Is there a verb? No, because this word is just telling me where. It's not giving me an action. So I don't know if the rings were placed on the counter next to the watches, right? Or the cup is on the counter next to the watches, or the remote is on the counter next to the watches. Is another one of those linking verbs. So if I have a part that's only telling me where, well, guess what? I don't have a subject. I don't know what's there. I don't have a predicate. I don't know if it was placed there, if it just is there, if they put it there. So this is still a fragment, but interesting is that it's missing both parts. Okay? So if you have a piece of a sentence that just tells you where something is, you don't know what the something is. You don't know the action of how it got there or that it is there, because it's only starting with a where word, like on the counter next to the watches. So be super careful with that today. So when you continue, I want to give you some reminders. Okay, always use your notes. Remember, you can pause the video to take these notes. Always remember, super important to read the instructions. Okay? So for example, in the beginning, we read each group of words. We found out to circle C if it's complete. And we found out to circle F if it was that fragment. Always read the instructions before you work. Okay? Now, going to the exit ticket for today. It's going to be a little bit different than before. So it says here, read the passage, correct the fragments. Now you can add a subject, a predicate, or both of those things. Okay? You can add a subject, a predicate, or sometimes both, because remember, it could be just telling us where. So after you read this, you're looking for the fragments, and you're going to add a subject, a predicate, or both. Now on your exit ticket online, you're going to have to fix the fragments by writing them into a complete sentence. So make sure you're looking at the instructions when you go to assignments. Make sure you've read and you've done all of your independent practice so you can get really good by the time you get to your exit ticket. Okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Good luck and have a great day.